Welcome, my Disney guests. I have a double dip episode for you today. I have a Bibbidi Box unboxing, and I want to share with you some of the history of It's a Small World. Now, I know that when It's a Small World is mentioned, a lot of people roll their eyes or groan or say, this is just for kids. But I hope by the end of this episode, you might start to look at this attraction in a different perspective. So first, let's get unboxing. All right, here we go with our Bibbidi Box. Again, with the cheating slip. And this is not an affiliated product. We buy these just like you do. So that's where we're going with it. And I still love all this paper because I like doing, confetti. It's just fun. Oh, looks like we've got some interesting things in here this time. Oh, I like this. So relax and recharge. Disneyland. Okay, this might be my new pajama shirt because that just seems like a pajama shirt kind of a thing. I like that. Okay, what else do we got besides more paper everywhere? I have no idea. Oh, it's a pen. For a second, I was like, what is this? It's like, because it's very heavy on the end. So we have a cocoa pen. So that could be interesting. Like I said, it's very heavy on the one end. It's, not balanced. And more confetti paper. Whoop! And I'm throwing things away. Oh, this is like the little jewelry pouches. So let's see what we get in here. It's all bundled up. I have no idea. Oh, there it is. Okay, it got tucked all back in. So it's a Mickey. It is a Mickey crystal necklace, part of the Disney Park collection. That's really pretty. Okay, and it looks like our last thing is a set of pins. So, the snacks, the Mickey snacks, everybody loves a Mickey snack, especially like the waffles. My kids really love waffles. So, yeah, so these Take Me to the Castle sets usually don't have very many items in them, but that's generally because park items tend to be a little more expensive. So yeah, we get some good quality items, but not as many as you would if you were to get one of the other sets where it's like all pins or all pins or pens, things like that. So that was what was in our Bibbidi Box. So summing up, we have our beautiful crystal Mickey dangle necklace. We have Mickey breakfast pins. Now I'm hungry. We have this cocoa pen. I'm not even going to attempt to say the Dia de los Muertos. Said I wasn't going to attempt it, but I attempted it. So there we go. And something I really like. I like this relax and recharge. Although I don't think being in Disneyland, you're not usually relaxing, but you are recharging. So, or at least I am. So this is really soft. I really like this. This is going to be a good pajama shirt. All right, Bibbidi Bobbidi Box. So let's get on with our history of It's a Small World. So now, while the ride was crafted in the style of legendary Imagineer Mary Blair, the song itself was written by Robert and Richard Sherman, which you would know as doing Mary Poppins and several other Disney movies. Now, the Sherman brothers were given the assignment to do a song for UNICEF, which stands for United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. Now, this was a pavilion that they had at the World Fair, which they were calling the ride UNICEF Salutes the Children of the World. So now when they were beginning this creation, they were called down to a sound stage where they had a working model of what the Small World ride was going to be. Now this wasn't going to be a boat ride. This was planned to be a serpentine walk-through. So the Sherman brothers were walking through this with Walt Disney, who was telling them his plans for it. And it became obvious that as they walked through and hearing these various groups of children singing, it was a total mess. It was a cacophony of music. And Walt says, "Kill the sound, kill the sound." And all they heard was the buzzing and clicking of the mechanical dolls moving. And Walt looked at them and said, "Okay, fellas, you're going to write a simple little song, and that's going to explain what this is all about." He said, "I want it to be a simple song that is a salute to the children of the world, because they are the hope of the future. They have to learn as youngsters how to live together and to share the world, because that's all we've got. The small children have to learn to share the world and live with respect. But don't get preachy. I don't want it to sound like a folk song. We've got to translate it into a lot of different languages." So, opening day for It's a Small World was April 22nd, 1964 at the New York World's Fair. And this was a tremendous success. Over 10 million tickets, 60 cents for kids, 95 cents for adults, were sold, with the proceeds going to UNICEF. A Salute to the Children of the World, designed by Walt Disney, proclaimed the official guidebook. It presents animated figures frolicking in miniature settings of many lands. Visitors are carried past the scenes in small boats. Now, Walt had additional plans for this attraction, but the Sherman brothers didn't know this. They were going to give UNICEF the royalties and the rights to the song. And Walt said, "Don't ever do that. I don't want you to do that. This song is going to put your kids through school." So Richard Sherman was quoted, "People think that this ride is a novelty. It's actually a prayer for peace." And former Disney legend Marty Sklar has said, "It's probably the most important thing that is in any of the parks." And I do have to say, this is my favorite part of the attraction. I get the giggles every time. Wouldn't it be wonderful if people acted like the words to the song? Richard Sherman, in an interview, said, "People either love me for it or hate me. Because of its endless repetition every day at Disneyland attraction and the other parks, some have come to loathe it." Now, because of the fact that after many decades, the song plays on an endless loop, 16 hours a day, at each park around the world in overlapping time zones, I believe that in the whole world, this song is always playing somewhere. And currently that number is 58 years. Now, there's a myth that the Sherman brothers earned money every time it was played. Richard Sherman laughed when asked about it, saying, "I wish." They get royalties when it's played outside of the park. Okay, now personally, I have no musical talent. The only instrument I can play is my playlist on my phone. But the brothers brilliantly devised a kind of round delay form. The verse and chorus have different melodies, but over the same chord changes. So like the traditional rounds in old music, the two melodies can be sung at the same time and intertwine melodically and rhythmically. In this way, the song changes with each scene, but the harmony is maintained throughout. Now that all sounds so complicated for me for such a simple sounding song. So when the attraction was finally in place in Disneyland, Walt had invited children from various countries to help dedicate it. Each child had brought a bottle with water from their native country to contribute to the water in the flume. And I think that is pretty beautiful and symbolic. So as much as people come to either hate it or love it, just take the lyrics and think about it, and it's quite a beautiful message, and one that if everyone was able to follow, the world would be a much better place. It's a world of laughter, a world of tears, a world of hopes, and a world of fears. There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware it's a small world after all. There is just one moon and one golden sun, and a smile means friendship to everyone. Though the mountains divide and the oceans are wide, it's a small world after all. So the next time you ride It's a Small World, whether voluntarily or get dragged on by someone else, think of the words and what Walt hoped for the future. Thank you for the magic, Walt. We hope we can live up to your legacy. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave us a comment. I'd like to know what you think of It's a Small World.